How's it going? This is Dr. Jeff at Rythmia Life Advancement Center here in beautiful Costa Rica. And the topic of tonight's Facebook Live is called Spirituality and Tradition. I want to give a shout out to an alumni of ours, DC. What's happening, buddy? And he inspired this particular discussion that we're going to have right now, because there's a common sort of question that comes up for some of the guests when they're here. And just to let you guys know, we're a licensed medical facility. We do life enrichment activities, and we call it life advancement. And we're a spiritual center, and we have holistic practices here, and we have Western medicine also, and we have shamanic healings and plant medicine and all the rest of the stuff that we do. So oftentimes we get people that come here, with like a really strong religious background, and that's really cool. We're actually non-denominational as a facility, but we welcome all different religions and beliefs and philosophies. We believe that everybody can bring a really positive impact to the group sort of dynamic that goes on here each week. So we really like it when people have different backgrounds and the way they believe in different parts of the world. People come here from all over the world. So it's like really a cultural melting pot actually that's going on here. It's really cool. And what I've noticed, and DC brought this up with me a couple times, and it was really cool. And by the way, he had a great week here. And I hope you're doing well back there at home, guys. So hopefully everything's cool. Anyway, if people have certain belief systems, and it doesn't have to be any particular religion or philosophy, but sometimes it tends to be ones that are maybe more conservative based. I was raised Christian, and I still am Christian, and I still believe in those things. And oftentimes people get confused a bit. And they think like, well, am I going to come to Rythmia and participate in these shamanic healing methods with these indigenous groups of people? And, this is a great week to talk about this, because we have Taito Juanito here from Colombia, and he's a shaman, and he's very skilled. And he does a lot of rituals that are healing and loving and really appropriate in each of his sessions with the guests in the plant medicine. So what ends up happening once in a while is guests, they're excited, they're nervous, they get here, and they can accept the fact that, okay, well, there's some classes, okay, cool, that doesn't contradict with anything I believe. There's also hydrocolonic cleanses, there's healthy food, there's yoga, and there's a lot of really cool, the beach is beautiful. There's all this cool stuff that people can kind of wrap their head around. And then they get up into the ceremony, and there's a tradition that we are using here at Rythmia. It's called the Rythmia Way, but it's kind of like a mishmash of a lot of different shamanic beliefs and things that we've seen that work really well for our guests. And sometimes in that ceremony space, there's saging that goes on, with the smoke to clear out the energy. There's also mapacho, which is the shamans kind of blow this into the room or onto the people's bodies a bit. There's agua de Florida, which is like a liquid that's blown out of the mouth of the shaman onto the parts of the body that have certain energy that they're trying to clear. And there's a lot of really cool music. Often, right now we have Juan David here. He's a famous musician from Colombia. He's part of Taita's group, and he plays live. It's like kind of Andean mountain music. I don't know how to say it. I don't know what the word is called, but it's like that. The zampoña flutes and guitar, and then those bass drum things that are really cool. So there's also icaros, which are chants that the shamans say, and sort of like blessings, basically is what it is. And it's like historical, and it's generational. It's passed down since the beginning of time through these families. So sometimes when people come from a certain belief system in the West, and they come here and they experience that, some people get a little bit like maybe confused by it or alarmed a little bit. Most of the guests think it's really cool, and not that these other guests don't think it's cool. They just are a bit confused by it. So I want to talk a little bit about what that is. What I've noticed in society, and I was an anthropology undergrad, so I studied cultures and different religious cultures and belief systems and people all over the world. I focused mostly on Latin American culture in my degrees. And what I noticed is that ritual behavior is a common thread throughout all societies. And ritual doesn't mean sacrifice. It doesn't mean satanic stuff. It doesn't mean bad juju or voodoo or nothing like that. Ritual is, I have a ritual every morning. I wake up, I drink some water, I brush my teeth, I go surfing or go work out in the gym, and I start my day. That's a ritual. Okay, so we all have rituals. And as part of a group, that brings the group dynamic together, and it gives identity, and it helps people feel a part of a system, and it is a cohesiveness. And so a ritual practice within a society is really healthy and helps people feel that they're a part of what's going on with their community. So rituals are really important, and especially in religious environments, rituals are key, because rituals, like if you think about let's say for example a church, well, there's certain songs, hymns they sing, and then there's certain sacraments they do, and there's certain ways that they dress when they go to church, and there's certain prayers and how those are offered, right? And so that's a ritual, and that helps people get in line with their mind and their body to be spiritually connected to what's going to happen, so they can be kind of open to the spiritual understanding of what they're seeking in those moments. So when I explain it like that to the guests, they really understand that. They get that, because that's it's what they're doing at home. It's really cool. Now, when they come here and they see the ritual behaviors that the shamans do, and especially Taita Juanita group, they get a little confused. I think it's just because they've never seen that before. So it's nothing that's negative, in other words. It's something that's used to help you get into a zone and get prepared and get plugged in and be open, and it helps you connect. And it's generational. It's very cool. It's historical in nature. So when I was studying anthropology, I had a couple professors. One of them was from Oxford, and a couple were from some really awesome universities in the U.S., and they had these ethnographic doctoral programs, stuff that they did when they were in school. And one of the guys went down to Africa and studied a tribe down there. And there's a concept in anthropology called a participant observer. What that means is these Oxford professors would go into the jungle or go into some society that they were not even close to being a part of, and they would assimilate in to some degree. And they would participate in the activities of the tribe. They would participate in the rituals, and they would observe the dance, and they'd be a part of the community for a little while, for like a sabbatical, like a 9-month, 10-month thing. And the whole time, what they were doing is they were participating in these activities with these tribes, but they were also observing what was going on so they could study about it and write about it and publish about it. And that's called the participant observer perspective. And it's a very key, big 101 concept of anthropology. So what you can do if you're a little bit nervous about like this kind of new way to have a shamanic experience when you're at Rythmia is you can look at it like that. Like you can be a participant observer. You're here, you're engaging in the process, you're doing your work, you have your intentions, everything's cool, you're drinking the medicine, but you're able to observe and watch what's going on so you can try to learn about it and understand it, and you can become a part of the community that we have at Rythmia. So that's just like one option you can do. So when people come and they say like, oh, well, that's like what you guys are doing, like that's evil, or that's not part of Christianity, or that's not part of like Buddhism, or that's not part of whatever religion or belief system, philosophy you want to say, we say, well, it's part of our shamanic traditions that we use here within our company. And it's not meant to replace your beliefs. It's not meant to replace the system you're in. It's actually here to enhance what you believe and to give you new perspective that's like really grounding. And tell you the truth, like I'm more connected spiritually to my religious background now than I ever was before. And a big part of that is because I have a bigger understanding of myself, and I have a bigger understanding of like spirituality and what goes on. And I credit that to the shamans that I've been working with for the last 4 years, and in my own work that I do there. And so it doesn't negate your religious or philosophy beliefs. It doesn't, if you're atheist, it also fits into that, because there's like emotional stuff that's going on and emotions are getting cleared. So spirituality and emotions, I like to interchange those two because it depends on what you believe. So, my own experience has been really cool, and I feel more plugged into myself spiritually and religiously than I ever was in the past. So what we're doing at Rythmia is we're not trying to replace your belief system. We're trying to help you enhance it, trying to help you get more confidence in who you are, what you believe, and how you can use that in your life to be happy, right? So DC when we were talking about this down here, he was a little worried, like, does this negate what I'm been taught my whole life in church? And is this like a practice that's like contradicting what I should be actually doing? I'm a little worried. And I explained, just what I said to you guys. I explained that to him, and he felt a lot better. He understood. Like, no, this is a really unique experience. If you're going to come to do plant medicine, right, you're going to have as much of an authentic experience as we can create here, having our medical license that we do, and also working with Westerners and people from all over the world that have a certain belief system. So we're a great mesh of the shamanic traditions of the ancient indigenous groups, and we're also blending with the Western mind frame and psychology and medicine and nursing and all that kind of stuff that really helps people feel comfortable and keeps us safe and keeps us with our license. So anyway, I just want you guys to feel confident that what we're doing here at Rythmia is very healing. It's a life-changing process. It's something that you guys, once you experience it, you really know. And I always tell you guys to go look at our testimonials and go look at TripAdvisor and look at our Facebook page and look what the guests are saying. Because, you guys can believe me. You can believe Jerry, of course. We're got your best interests here, but we work here. I want you guys to look at the testimonials of the alumni that have been through, because they're incredible. They're an amazing, amazing testimony to like what's going on at this facility. So tonight we're sold out. We have a ton of guests here. They're here for the Taita Juanito week. It's going to be a great week. There's lots of ritual and tradition and indigenous medicine going on in a healthy, safe, really appropriate way. And I would invite you guys to come down and see what this is about, and you can really get a lot of progress in your life, a lot of healing. So I hope this video helps. It's a common theme that comes up for a lot of you guys when you come here, and this will be something you can kind of like look at and feel comfortable if you come from a very, let's say, conservative or maybe certain type of belief system that would view shamanic healing practices as something that's kind of outside the box a little. How's that for you? Little politically correct way to say this, yeah. So if you guys have questions, call our Malibu office. There's a number right here. Give us a buzz. You guys can figure it out. And I see a great comment from Sarah, and she says, I didn't believe in God until I came to Rythmia. How cool is that, right? How cool is that? So, certain people, again, people will shift. Everybody's different. Some people, it enhances their belief system that they already have. Some people, they switch into a new belief system. Some people join a certain belief system. Sarah, she believes in God now, and she didn't before, and that's great for her. And some people come here, and they decide that they don't believe in God, right? So there's a whole range. It's a whole range. And what we are doing at Rythmia is we're helping you get what you need for yourself. There's no one answer for everybody. There's no one way for everybody. It's up to you. What can you be successful with, and what can you be happy with? And that's our goal. And so we're here to do that, and we're doing it in a really safe, happy, pleasant, very comfortable way that lets you do the work that you need to do for yourself. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. See you next Monday. Pura vida.